Alright, friends, got a few more examples here as the experiments continue in my method. The main objective here, well, these are a couple of I'll call these wonderful confusion type sessions, because I become a bit confused, but it's fantastic. I love it. I love it. This one, I'm literally laughing in the session. But we'll start with this one here. This is the range here, so we're out in outer space there. But some interesting stuff comes through, but I'm so confused by it that I'm doing my best. Literally, I'm doing my best not to laugh out loud. But let's take a look. We'll just kind of 10 minutes. I'll kind of zip along a little bit. Getting ready. Yeah. Yeah. See, this one produced right away. It produced the proprioception and the dimensional sense very fast. Very, very fast. And it was metallic, sharp metal, those kinds of things. Didn't really have a... This I put into the pattern separation element because I didn't really have a dimensional sensation that I could render yet. But I did have in the separation something that was metallic, sharp, pointed metallic something. 760. And in the ideographs, because I call them again ideographs because by definition it's something that contains multiple aspects, multiple elements, and that is what I'm going for in these. So when the ideograph comes through, there is a sensation to it that I'm looking for. So I'm not looking to draw something and then go, oh, that's what it is every time. Maybe sometimes that might happen, but not every time. So I'm dealing with a man-made here. I'm dealing with a man-made. It's not an ocean. It's not trees or anything like. It's not a mountain. It is I'm dealing with something man-made. It's metallic, and I know it. I'm at about a 65% confidence level here, even though a rendering of a dimensional sensation has not yet happened. But it's about to happen. Now I'm starting to go into the dimensional sensation right there. It's coming through right there. Again, the ideograph is going to produce, ideally, when an actual remote viewing is taking place, the ideograph is used to create proprioception that will produce dimensional sensations. And there it is, it's coming through now. Very strong. I'm at 70% confidence level at this early stage in the session that I don't know what this is, but I'm at a 70% confidence level that a remote viewing is taking place. So that pattern completed out because this is producing, of course, images. Pinwheel, spokes, a wheel, like a bicycle wheel, something along those lines. but I got to pattern complete them because I have no idea what I'm dealing with conceptually, other than the dimensions, the dimensionality of it. It's round. It's got these kind of, it's round. It's got these kind of lines in through it here like this. I don't know what it is. Reminds me of a wheel, but it's metallic and it's man-made. That's what I'm very confident about. And in this stage in the entry proprioception, I don't want to label it. I don't want to create a story or anything like that. All I want is a dimensional sensation. And to ensure that an actual remote viewing is taking place. Yeah, it's coming through. There's movement there. Yeah. So I'm working it out now, dimensionally. Skip a little bit. This is kind of a long one. Working it out dimensionally. Taking my time. See, I'm getting I got this element here. I don't know what this is, and at this point I'm like, uh-oh. I may be going into labeling this as something here. Don't feel too confident about it. So the sketch of it is not that prominent. It's not as defined as this one. I'm less confident about this. What over here should have been a pattern complete of a church or something like that. Or no, I think I did like a lighthouse. I don't know, lighthouse or something. I can't remember. Okay, there's the dimensionality. There's the round element there is. I know that's there. I know where remote viewing is happening right now. That is this right here. There's a cat is scratching at my door. A cat scratching at my door. And I can hear it. But I got to deal with distractions. I just have to deal with them. This confident, this not so confident. Cat scratching at the door. She will not take no for an answer. Again, metal parts. The stage, I don't want to create a story here. I don't want to create a story. I only want the sensation only. That's all I want, because it feels so interesting. And this is interesting because it's intricate. It's something intricate, metallic, man-made. I'm very, very curious here. So I'm exploring it here. Kind of move along here. It's about done. It's intricate with many parts. It's very interesting to me. It's elaborate. Yeah. Like, what goes where? What is that? I'm wondering. The hell is that? I mean, that's literally what's going through my mind. What the hell is that? And I'm good. So that's one example. I don't want to create a story. I just want the dimensional sensation. I'm 75, 80% confidence level at this point, right on the first page. Actually, right here I was. That when I look at the feedback, there's going to be something that looks like this. And there is. It's true. Here's another one. Again, these are what I call quote-unquote anything targets. They can and they will be and they need to be absolutely anything. This was a fun one, tricky one, very tricky, because if you look at this, you have this obviously is the main gestalt, this waterfall, the main gestalt. This is the main primary objective. So the primary objective is, well, the viewer should be drawing a waterfall, movement of water. But you have a lot of flat land here, maybe little hills or whatever, divots and all that kind of stuff. So that stuff comes into play, and I'm literally laughing about it in this session because it's like it's all coming through, and I just couldn't help but just start laughing about it because it was all... I'm like, this is flat land. No, it's water. Oh, it's flat land. No, it was funny. I enjoyed this one. It was a lot of fun for me. What have we got here? What was happening here? Nothing too much was happening. Oh yes, something was happening with that one. I'd say maybe about a 20% confidence level that a remote viewing is taking place at about 20%. With meaning that a very slight level of impression. I think this one bumped it up a little bit. That the receptors were starting to register something. Starting to register. But I'm not confident enough at this point. I'd say about maybe 25% confidence that a remote viewing is taking place. Enough to keep going. I can tell there's little something coming in. Starting to make its way into the stereognosis realm. I'm working it. I'm working hard. Working hard. Yeah, that brought it in. Now it's sensation starting to come through. Starting to work its way. Oh yeah, I remember this one. Okay. Yeah, this is another reason why this was such a struggle. Okay. Before I started to work the session, I had a visual come in. And the visual was of a grassy plain. And when I'm working in the stereognosis realm here, visuals are very, very unreliable. So I have to be very careful about visuals when I'm primarily focused on stereognosis. So I'm going into this with a visual, having been hit with a visual of a grassy plain. Okay, you can see grassy plain here, but the main objective is the waterfall. So I'm dealing with it now. So now I'm starting even though I go into it knowing that I just had a visual pop in, even though I'm in this realm, I don't really trust the visuals when I'm in this realm. So I don't want to bypass the proprioception and the dimensional sensations and just start indulging a visual, because it usually doesn't work out. 9.5 times out of 10 it's wrong. So I'm going to rely specifically on my objectives here. My ideographs, proprioceptors getting stimulated, dimensional sensations coming through primarily. The dimensional sensations start to represent the initial visual. So this is why I'm starting to chuckle. I'm starting to laugh to myself like, oh man, maybe it's really true. So that's what made it fun. But this was kind of like, okay, it's kind of a hilly area. It made it fun. This was a fun one for me. So the dimensional sensation is coming through. Even though I had the visual, the dimensional sensation is coming through for me as well. So I'm very aware of it, of what's going on, and I'm in total control. The viewer has to be in total control. It's an open area. It's kind of landish. I am getting these things that are giving me movements here. I'm getting movements. Oh boy! And now I'm like, oh man, this is where I start. This is where I get a big smile on my face right now, because I'm like, oh man, this might be land. This might be water. Now I got to figure out which one it is. And obviously it's both, but I know there's a main objective here. I know there's a main objective. And I want the main objective. As a discipline, as part of a training discipline, is I want the main objective. Because that's what I want. Dimensionality. Confidence level is very high right here. Even though I'm struggling with this now. But I'm also laughing inside too. Like, oh man. Oh man. Here we go. This is going to be a fun one. I'm working it out. Because again, these are quote-unquote anything targets. I have no idea. There's no pattern at all. So now I got a pattern complete. A field of wheat or grass. A field of wheat or grass. And another complete of water. I'm like, this is great. But dimensionally, I can feel it, and it's cool. Here's my dimensions. Here's what it feels. It's very flat. It's very flat. This is the sensation that I enjoyed the most. This is a very flat land. Got some hills and stuff in there, but it's primarily it's a very flat area. And even this is very flat, even though you got the dip off here. There's a big giant crack here, obviously. But other than it's very flat land. I got a big smile on my face right here. Yeah, that was my favorite sensation. I'm really enjoying this, even though I'm like, God damn, I'm like, oh, it needs to be one or the other, or it's got to be one or the other. Feels like land. I'm so wonderfully confused right now. It's a very flat, really fun sensation there. Yeah, maybe because it's not so deep. Maybe I don't know. Really enjoyable sensation, though. Really, really enjoyable. All right, so I gotta take it into two. Seems like a hilly area, natural, but very flat as well. Outdoors feel. Hilly, not mountainous. Just a hilly area. Yeah, there might be some hills over there, and it's flat, and maybe a hill or something like that over there. Natural area, outdoors. Flat surface area. Grassy landscape. What was it? I was like, oh, at this point, again, I got a big smile on my face, like, oh, is this land or is this water? Oh man, it's got to be both. But I want the main gestalt. That is my objective. The main gestalt, which is this. It's like if I go to the gun range and I have a paper with a bullseye in that target. My objective is the bullseye. That is my objective. But it's very much like remote viewing, because any slight deviation that is sometimes very difficult to detect is going to go off of the bullseye, or the main objective. And as the discipline is to adjust all those very slight movements to hit the objective. And that's, I apply it. Remote viewing is the same for me. This is the objective here. This is here, it is true, but this is the objective. And again, as a discipline, here, man-made, here, natural, meaning as in my practice, quote unquote, anything targets. Because what I'm looking for here isn't, oh, look at me, I can hit it, I can be successful at it or whatever. It's nothing about that. It's about the experience of being able to have a stereognosis experience of a remote range of time and space. That is what's important. That's the most important thing. Not, oh, look at, he drew it and it looks the same. Not that. It's not that. So there's a couple more examples and many more to come.